You do not have a business unless you have effective content. It's the content that's the root of how people fall in love with you. It's the root of how you build credibility on the internet. If you don't have good content, and if your content looks a little sketchy, then people don't take you seriously. Content is the business, and if you have awesome content, then you have an awesome business.
When you see someone has the results you want, follow their path because they already laid out the path for you instead of trying to figure it out from scratch.
My number one piece of advice is to...
What's up, my freedompreneurs? I'm here with Tori, also known as Detox Tori.
Hi.
She is someone who has been crushing it on the online business with helping people detox, and you could talk about all that. And she went through our program in Contentpreneurs and has been crushing it. Every time she meets us, she levels up more and more, I feel, hanging out with Ted Carr and everyone. Can you tell the people a little bit of your background, what you're into, and how you started with this whole entrepreneurial thing?
Totally. Thank you for having me, Kuba.
My pleasure.
I love it. I also love that interviews like this work a different part of my brain because I always talk about detox with every interview that people do. So this is good for me. It's very refreshing. I guess I didn't anticipate to be an entrepreneur, know that a business would take off in this space. I found a solid skill in communicating via reels and lives on Instagram, and people resonated with my communication and my teaching style within this field of health. That has allowed me to grow an audience that likes just the way that I communicate. I'm blessed for that, and I love that I honed in on that skill and found that skill because it is what kills on the internet, truly. Being able to clearly teach and clearly speak in a way that people want to listen to landed me in this position to create a business starting with the content.
Follow Detox Tori. I'll put her link below. She does reels and these videos where she's really just like communicating like how a part of the body works or how some sort of protocol is done. You got your background images, you got B-roll, and it's really engaging. You've just been consistent, and I've seen you blow up like pretty fast, so that's amazing. Can you tell people how they can get into that themselves?
Yeah, the number one thing is getting comfortable and clear with making content. You do not have a business unless you have effective content. There's one thing just like posting to post, which of course, if you're gonna get over some barriers and you just have to post, amazing. But I feel like I have gotten so good because I listen to all my lives back. This might be weird to say, but we borderline some sort of narcissism, watching ourselves back over and over again. And we're like, this could be better, and this could be better, and this could be better. And then when you hone it in after just watching yourself, you become such an effective content creator. And the only way to get good at something is to practice. It's like watching film for sports. I used to play basketball. We used to watch game film all the time. That's what we have to do if you really want to build a business and build an audience. It's the content that's the root of how people fall in love with you. It's the root of how you build credibility on the internet. If you don't have good content, and if your content looks a little sketchy, then people don't take you seriously.
Can you tell us why did you decide to invest in a program like ours with Contentpreneurs and paid a good amount of money to level up your business?
I feel like I might have been an interesting situation because I started to post content without a business in mind. I was truly sharing my health journey, and that started to grow an audience. I had an Instagram account that was hefty for 8 months before I took on clients. When I recognized I had something, I didn't quite know how to monetize it in an effective way. I was pretty much running a virtual health coaching practice like most of us know how to do, or most of us have been taught how to do, which is one-on-one consultations and one-on-one clients, and let's have sessions over Zoom and do things that way. Except once your content creates such a massive audience, as a single person, we don't have capacity to maintain that level of one-on-one consultation when there's so many people that are wanting to work with you because they're in love with your content and in love with the way that you speak. So I came to Contentpreneurs. Ted was referred to me by a mutual friend. I have been someone who's always found an importance in mentorship. Before I even had a business, I was hiring money coaches, health coaches, and naturopaths. If you resonate with someone's energy and you find someone who knows more than you, it's okay to blindly follow follow. Like there's this gut intuition here where you know you should listen to someone or know if you shouldn't. So for example, Haley, one of my health mentors, I've blindly followed her throughout my journey, listening to what happened because I resonated so deeply with what she was saying. And then she actually referred me to Ted. And then I started to see what Ted was about. He hopped on a call with me. I resonated with that energy. He gave me insight on what a sales flow can look like and the potential I was sitting on. I have blindly followed ever since.
Here you are today. You came to our retreat. You've been to another retreat. You went through our program before that. So it's not like a one-time thing. You keep coming to us, staying with us, and you keep leveling up your business, it looks like. I seen you brainstorm with Ted and you're like insight, aha after aha. So when you see someone has the results you want, follow their path because they already laid out the path for you instead of trying to figure it out from scratch. Tell us, what does that path look like for you in terms of your business structure?
This retreat, actually the most recent one, has given me a new flow that I'm very excited to implement. So my business structure is allowing me to free up. I've prioritized people who are high ticket clients and people who work with me one-on-one and have my phone number in their cell phone. For me, being in the health space is a little bit different from someone who might be in a money niche. I feel as a high ticket, I don't feel the need to create a massive team to deliver a high ticket product, but I will create a team of coaches to deliver a low ticket product. I have my high ticket people who work one-on-one with me if they're dealing with like kind of extreme stuff and they recognize that a generalized protocol may not apply to them. People with like cancers or crazy autoimmune or just super like off hormone stuff. That might be a little more intricate than someone who just comes to me with like irregular periods or wants to lose weight or is dealing with a little bit of hair loss. It's like the protocol can be super foundational for people who recognize their case isn't very intricate. Being able to cultivate a team of practitioners who have been trained by the places I've been trained and studied under people who I trust and have shadowed me for enough time, that low ticket and my high ticket are now the two parts of my business where I'm quite involved even in the low ticket, but it allows people to gain access at a more accessible, one, price point, but also accessible speed. Because with a high ticket, because it's only me really, I have a capacity. I do have a cap with high ticket clients. I only take on a certain number every month. But people who want to come into the low ticket, that's like an ever revolving door. So I never really have to say no to anybody who comes to me now versus before. It was like, I'm sorry, I'm full. I'm sorry, I'm booked. So now that flow, that sales flow and structure of the back end of my business, I didn't have a concept of high ticket, low ticket before I started working with you guys.
And what changed from the retreat now?
The way that I market, all my priority is on publicly marketing the low ticket. I will never push high ticket because I have a cap on it. Only 4 clients a month. Luckily, with the audience that I've created, like the conversations that happen in the DMs, and for anybody who goes into the Contrepreneurs group, you will learn these crucial steps. Content, conversation, client. When you're having conversations with potential clients, like for me, all of those conversations do somehow let people know about my high ticket. However, because I do have a cap, it really allows people who are super serious to rise to the top. And that's who my people get on sales calls with. But if I recognize someone may be slightly wary and I can read and vet as the conversation is going, I might pitch a low ticket. And this probably has to do with masculine, feminine dynamics me and Benny have talked about. I don't have a desire to make the most money possible. Like as a woman, I'm content with capping my high ticket, promoting the low ticket, and having my passive membership flow that also allows me to be pretty stress-free. If I was delivering high tickets at the volume that I have enrollees at low tickets, I would just be at my wit's end.
I was gonna say that you can train your coaches to deliver the high ticket and take on more clients. What do you think about that?
And that's what I don't want to do. It's just unique with me. Like I talked about it today in the circle we were doing. It might be a limiting belief that nobody can do what I do. I don't necessarily need to be super hands-off with my business. Right now, this is just a stepping stone. I am a fairly new entrepreneur. I was able to find a sales flow very early, blindly following Contrepreneurs mentorship. It's just so early in the journey. I'm not going to speak from a place of Ted, who's been in this game for 10 years and has ascended to entrepreneurship where he has it dialed. I admit I don't have things dialed at a place where everything is hands off. I just don't need that, and I don't want it right now because I want to learn. I want to work with clients directly, gain experience, and be the best practitioner I possibly can. And I can only do that by being in the field. Whereas when I'm 40, that's when that type of high ticket where I'm passing off to practitioners might feel more relevant.
How old are you now?
25, about to be 26.
It seems like you have a system you're happy with, and you say you're not at the level of Ted that's 10 years in the game. But how long have you been in the game? Because it seems like that short period, you grew really fast. How long has that been?
I started working with you guys, Contentpreneurs, February 8th of 2023. So we're about to be 1 year where I've been actively under your mentorship, and the exponential growth in a year has been wild. My business is young. I'm young, but I'm learning from a mentor who is a wise old man in the field of entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've developed this wisdom. My peers, like all practitioners, even Haley, other practitioners, I will have session requests. Tori, I need to book a session with you for business. I don't care about health stuff. What are you doing for your business? And I charge people my consultation rates. If they want to see the back end of my business, I either send them to you guys or I hop on a call and go to them. I'm not going to coach business long term. I don't want to do that.
But you're obviously inspiring people because of your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you for sharing that story. Before I ask you the last two simple questions, can you tell the people where they can find you and if you have any resources to share?
Instagram is my main platform, at Detox Tori. Detox Tori feels like a little catchy name. I love it. So Instagram is my main platform. I am on TikTok, of course. Everything is reposted over there. YouTube does have more unique content that may not be on Instagram. So YouTube is also youtube.com/@DetoxTori. I'm Detox Tori across every platform. That's how to find me publicly. And then I'd say the most value that you can get from me is I have my free guide posted everywhere and my free community. So I have a free community called the Detox Circle, and that is where I have a ton of free courses, a ton of ebooks, recipes, everything I really give away for free. What matters to me is if people are going to pay me, they're going to pay me for my time or my coach's time rather than the information. The information is free. It's just like the time and the personalized Q&A is like what is in my detox communities.
Can you just give context to the end result you help people with?
Detoxing the body, healing from any chronic disease requires removing the waste from your systems, and it is a process to get to the point where you're actively cleansing out every system of the body. So my free stuff is the things that get you literally 90% of your body transitioned and prepared to drop into a detox protocol. So protocols get pretty custom for people depending on herbs and different things. So all of my free stuff out there literally gets you right up to the point where we can get you on a custom protocol.
Awesome. I'll put all those links you mentioned below. And what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who doesn't know where to start? They have maybe experience with health coaching or detox specialization, and they want to help people like you help people. How can they get started as a coach?
My number one piece of advice is to get solid in your communication. People who stumble across their words, and of course people can stumble, but if you're speaking and it's coming out unclear to even yourself, nobody else is going to understand you, right? So when you hone in on how a very beginner, super beginner is going to digest your content, you have to speak to super beginners. You have to make it as clear as a beginner can understand, because the advanced people are still going to understand regardless. The advanced people are going to know that you're here with it, even if you're talking to just beginners. So clear communication, dial in your teaching, make things accessible and digestible. You can figure out how to do that in real life, but translating it to a video may be a whole different story for people. But content is the business. And if you have awesome content, then you have an awesome business. That's my advice.
I love it. You brought it back to the content, because I know your journey started with you just sharing content, blew up like that. And then you came to us to strategize and turn it into coaching and a structured business. But it was all with the content where it started. And that's what we promote as well. Start sharing content, sharing your knowledge, sharing your insights. And get good at it, be clear with your communication, And as you do it, you'll be better and better. So one last thing I want to ask you, Tori. Thank you so much for being here. Can you share your vision for the future of your business?
Yes, this vision is almost in action based off of this Mexico retreat we went on. That's what I dialed in with Ted and with the team. We were just on a retreat in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and we had the whole... It's so funny. I'm the only person there that wasn't working for Ted, but because I am so closely connected with the team and they have helped me on every level of my entrepreneurship journey, I weasel my way in to their team. So we were just on a retreat there, and I was able to see how the team dynamics were working and met everybody on the entrepreneurship team. So that's where we were, and it allows me to get some gems and strategize with some of the people on the team in order to level up my business. So those retreats are gems for me every single time. This new experience, or this flow that I'm super excited for, is using a webinar model in order to promote the low ticket, of course, just because that's my priority. And I have never used a webinar model before where we're pitching at the end to join the low ticket. Usually people use a webinar model to join high tickets, and it's pretty effective, actually, like a 10% close rate usually. So I can only imagine what a close rate would be on a webinar to a low ticket.
Are you doing recorded or live?
Because when I do detox, I launch at one time. It's like spring detox or fall detox. I'll do live webinars for the entire month, every single week leading up to the detox launch. So I'm launching a detox in March, and we'll do a March, April, May group, all kind of moving through together. So the month of February, I'll have every Thursday, boom, live webinar up until March.
That's really cool. So make sure to follow Tori's journey in her social media, get her free stuff, join her community so you could be there when she starts these webinars and these challenges, and you can get help from her. Thank you so much for being on my channel. It was really cool talking to you, and also really cool meeting you in real life and hanging out with you at the Mexico retreat here at Miami area at the festival. It's also like a mini retreat. It's been really cool. Thank you so much, Tori.
Thank you so much, Kuba. I love that you have helped me use a different part of my brain. I can't say that enough.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you shared like a different thing, because you're all about the detox in that world, and now you shared your entrepreneurial journey. And I think it's important to inspire people, because there's a lot of people who want to do the same thing. And I bet you there's clients in your world that heal and then want to start helping people heal as well.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Peace out.